Rain's not quite satisfied with the answer, but, you know, he'll go with it.
That's right, I'm not quite satisfied with our lazy sisters remaining on the ship.
I'm satisfied with them just staying there, that's fine.
Right. Okay. In that case, heading to the next workshop door. That would have been to Rilinid's left, and giving that a spin.
Alright.
The wheels on the workshop door go round and round, round and
That is the
Then has come
soundtrack.
to the conclusion that Rilinid is indeed insane.
I like singing this.
Is he singing in gnomish? What?
What's wrong with these people? Yes, this workshop seems to be in a similar state as the one you just went into. Like things again, it's just a freaking mess in here. Things poking out everywhere, piping, and heavens know what's else in here.
Okay. Well, heaven knows that's why we need to take a look.
Yes, indeed. You may search around.
Yay. Go ahead and rely on the take 10. How about 28? Is 28 good enough for you?
Yes, 28 is very nice indeed.
I might as well roll an 18.
You see, I'm saving my inspired rollers. You used yours to get us started to sail for the day.
I didn't want us to crash at the dock.
First thing that happens, just beach the thing. Yeah, that'd be bad.
The rest of the session is just like fending off all of the horrible creatures who heard the crash.
Everyone just descends. Yeah, you search through the debris in here, poking around, and Rae'nkalar actually finds a strange device sort of lodged under one of the, thrown over shelves. It seems to be nothing but a 12-inch iron bar, but it's lined with small plates and spikes and like wheels and cogs and things.
Rain will look at it. Quirk an eyebrow. Take it.
Yeah, there are small inscriptions in gnomish along the side of it.
What does it say?
It seems to indicate that different levers and different cogs on it transform the function of this iron rod. It has things on hammer, shovel, block, tackle, scissors.
So like a multi-tool?
You would think so, yes.
That sounds fancy.
Rain. Rilinid.
From like perhaps getting lost and like, what were they working on here?
Rain gestures towards the contraption he's found. I seem to have found a all-in-one tool of theirs. Going through and showing all the different capabilities I found in the inscriptions.
Yeah, it seems to be a complex series of like you bend it like this, you pull this cog, suddenly a shovel blade, comes out of it, and you can use it as a shovel. Suddenly a hammerhead comes out, you can use it as a hammer.
Rilinid cast detect magic to make sure that the fucking gnomes aren't just like capable of turning like a 12-inch iron bar, like fucking everything.
The thing is magical with a moderate transmutation aura.
Oh, okay. Rilinid nods. Yes, just needed to make sure that was a magical device, and that the Zvirfneblin were not capable of doing so many things with such a small utensil. I suppose I'll throw down a spellcraft. Yeah, what the hell? Oh, you know what? We don't need to be that excited. I'll just take 10 on the spellcraft, whatever.
All right. Rilinid find this as a traveler's any tool.
Okay. A traveler's any tool.
That was nice of you. I was going to bring it up because I think I knew what item it was anyway.
Counts as a set of masterwork artisan's tools for most craft perception. Well, Rilinid will look at it and say, well, Rae'nkalar, I think you should actually be the one to keep such a device, as there are so many potential things that might come into question. You might find such a thing more useful.
Yes. It would definitely be good for keeping prepared. Stash away the tools.
Yeah, Rilinid already has tools, and he's like, what the hell's a tackle anyway? Rilinid's like, fucking shit.
Some sort of arcane nonsense.
That's right.
As Rilinid moves out into the corridor here, suddenly there is a large, not a large, a loud sound coming from the docking area, as it sounds like something fell off a couple of the shelves and scrambles and smashes into things, and turning around there. Ivy has holds up her hands like, what? I didn't do anything.
God damn it, Ivy.
A head of what looks like some sort of contraption, like vaguely spider-shaped, sort of have seemingly rolled down from a shelf here and sort of bounced out into the onto the middle of the floor.
In that case, Rae'nkalar, who's in front of Rilinid, has the pleasure of pause, the jittery nervousness going completely stiff, and then cracking being heard as he rotates his neck.
And meanwhile, Zyn is going to investigate, because if suddenly mechanical spiders start crawling around, that would probably not be good.
Mechanical spiders don't exist, come on.
Of course not.
There's no such thing. Gnomish submersibles, yes, that's completely plausible. Mechanical spiders.
Mechanical spiders, preposterous.
That's right.
Ivy shakes her head, looking genuinely concerned. I didn't do anything. I promise.
I'm sure you didn't do anything, but just to be safe, could you stand over there as he points into a corner that seems to be debris-less or close to it, and not move ever again? Thank you. As Zyn goes to investigate.
Sorry, she didn't do anything. I don't know. Is she being honest? This seems like something she would do.
Well, to Rilinid, she seems honest to him.
What?
So this spider thing that dropped, can Zyn find it, or is it gone?
No, it's lying in front of him. It looks like a piece of the head of one of the broken spider things Ivy held up before.
Then it's going to poke it with his foot.
It doesn't really do anything. Moves a bit when he pokes it, but that's from the force of the poke.
Then shrugs and looks to Rilinid. Clearly he knows more about this stuff than Zyn.
Rilinid cast Detect Magic, the cone focused on the spider thing.
Yes, he does not feel any magic from the spider thing.
Rilinid will move the cone so that it's focused not on the center of the room, but at the area of the room where Ivy was located and undoubtedly ruining everything.
Alright, give me 2 seconds.
That's fine. Let's go ahead and... Oh, I can draw a cone template. Let's go ahead and pick some pretty colors. I want that color, I want that color, I want that kind of opacity, and... It's a 60-foot cone-shaped emanation, so it just smacks into the wall.
Yep. Yes, exactly. Good. He does get a faint sense of magic before it sort of disappears from his senses.
What? Did anything move?
Not that you saw.
Rilinid quirks his head in confusion and says, "There was a faint glimmer of something magical alongside the wall there. Then it vanished as if it deactivated."
See? I didn't do anything! Ivy says from the corner.
That's even worse than if it had been you. You shouldn't be glad about that. It means that something is going on that might not be good for us. I suggest we just leave.
Rilinid sort of edges over to this sort of shelving thing, appearing as if he expects it to just like move right in front of his face. It was like accusingly.
When Rilinid appears at the shelf, he does notice that there is an air duct behind it.
Oh god. Mechanical spiders and air ducts, that's just what I needed.
Well, the air duct, is it exuding air, like, into my face?
Right now there does not seem to be much movement in the airs, but yeah, a little bit is sort of, being pumped into this area, it seems. Spiders being exuded.
Rilinid, his accusatory glare, and then say, "There is an air duct." It's smaller than gnome-sized, right?
Well, you would think that the gnome could probably crawl in it.
I'm asking whether the gnome would be squeezed well.
A gnome would probably be squeezed in it.
That's fine. Okay. Rilinid will, like you say, say, "Air duct. How detachable is it from the wall?"
It seems to be detachable.
I figured there would be like a grate or something over it.
Yeah, it's a grate. With the any tool, for instance, you could probably unscrew it.
Rae'nkalar, why don't you try to detach the air duct grate, then keep your bow trained on it? We do need to ensure that whatever is aboard this vessel does not leave with us.
Rain, using his new fancy tools, detaches the grate.
All right. Rain starts working on the grate. Screwing sounds as he sort of removes the screws that holds it in place.
Okay.
It takes a while. They're not really well oiled or anything. And he will need to use some of his strength, but he is definitely strong enough, so this shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I assume 18 strength is enough to unscrew something.
Yeah, yes. It takes a while, though. You haven't really done this type of work before, and even though it's simple, you kind of need to, move over debris and things like that to reach it.
Which way do I turn this?
Damn it!
Rae'nkalar, you turn it that way. No, I already tried that way. They just tightened up the damn thing.
That is basically how it goes, yes.
One guy working, everyone else just observing him and telling him what to do. It's great.
Hey, I don't need backseat engineers.
Do it. Listen, I've lived just as long as you have, but really a few seconds more.
I am clearly more professional.
I've devoted my entire life to this sort of thing. Gnomish engineering, yes.
Give me one example where you've done gnomish engineering before this.
I made the engine work.
I worked out the original settings for the engine, for the piloting controls.
I didn't ask you to give me examples. You just asked me to give you an example, so I did.
Yes, but that was at the same time as I did, so you're no more experienced than I do.
I know what a telescope is.
Rain remains quiet.
Zyn will interrupt your bickering. I'm sorry that I have to intrude your very useful conversation, but I think I heard a door in the corridor open. as he slowly moves here and peers into the corridor to see if he can see anything. His bow, of course, aimed at anything in the corridor, pretty much.
Rilinid will rotate towards Zyn and say, "What next? Are you going to become Sergeant Tarlet and tell me that the lake is haunted?"
Unlike Sergeant Tarlin, I rely on my senses and not my imagination. I heard a door open.
This concept of Zyn not relying on his imagination, Rilinid gives like a disbelieving look to the Rae'nkalar, but he's working.
Yeah, there is... this door is ajar, and you can see sort of a little bit into the area here.
The door is ajar. What does it have inside of it?
More maple syrup.
Hooray!
We will eat it for ourselves.
You know, if Rilinid doesn't believe Zyn, then Zyn will investigate. Bravely, since, well...
Well, you know, his senses are so amazing.
Yes,
He's
of
the
course.
best equipped.
Squeeze into the corridor, still listening for any sound or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly approach.
Oh, he can hear like humming, hissing sounds from this area. Sounds like steam being
okay.
exuded.
Not like snakes.
Not like snakes.
Okay, that's good.
More like demons.
Oh.
Unless they're clockwork snakes.
Clockwork demons.
Oh, that's the best.
Why did you just give him the idea?
Oh, yes.
These are the construct outsider type.
Yeah, it's great. The
From the
gnomish
backwards
plane.
compatible 3.5 rules that let you merge base types.
Yeah, it's from the gnomish engineering plane.
So slowly and carefully approaching the door, can he see anything more?
Well, you can see a little bit more.
What is that?
I'm not super sure. It looks like the back end of a war machine of some sort, he thinks.
Well, he will approach the door and open it ever so slightly that he can fit through.
Okay.
And then he will go through, I guess. Unless he sees clockwork demons. Oh, interesting.
Ballista.
Yeah. Looking in, Zyn sees what seems to be two large quad-firing, repeating ballista being mounted on the... Basically, they're grafted into the floor here. They are put on a little bit of a swivel so they can sort of, be turned around. They're aimed at hatches that are closed. Looking out. Looking at these things, he has never seen anything like this really before. He has seen ballista probably, but this type of construction would allow them to shoot in very rapid succession without needing to reload. It seems to be quite ingenious, actually.
Is there any sign of whatever might have opened the door? He's quite sure that doors don't open by themselves. Then again, there might be gnomish doors that do that, or something, for whatever reason.
Well, he can. It's hard to see from the door where he's standing, but he can certainly make a perception check and look around the room.
That was a 4. God damn it.
He does not really see anything.
Well, he will go into the room and look around, I guess. Or, look at the crossbows quickly at least, or, just acknowledging their existence. And then, what are these doors? Are they closed?
Yes, they look closed.
Are there any air ducts in this room?
Yes.
Are they Like, are the grates like open or something, or unscrewed?
Well, there is a grate over here that seems to be hanging loose. It is sort of half open.
Then we'll approach the air duct. Even though he thinks that's a horrible idea, he will do it anyways.
All right.
And look inside if he can see anything
This
or
is like
hear
a
anything.
bad horror movie. We're all separated now.
Yeah, he listens inside. He does, it's almost like a soft echo, sort of carrying towards him in the air duct. He almost hears something like movement, like metal scraping against metal.
Well, that's enough for Zyn. I think it's time to go back. So he will very carefully trying not to make too much sound, even though he's not exactly accustomed to moving around on metal floors with debris everywhere, and squeeze back through the... Oh, God.
He's back to the oh god.
Yes.
The thing in front of him looks like a gnome, but built out of machinery, clockwork, gears, like sprockets and whistles and things sort of work all over the body, seemingly propelling it. It moves in a strangely graceful and yet sort of jerking pattern, like and it's constant hums and whistles sort of going off around it softly. Its eyes looks like small spotlight sort of shining towards him, and you can see like crackles of energy sort of leaping over the body. Seeing Zyn, it speaks in gnomish. Does Zyn know gnomish?
No.
All right, you have no idea what it's saying. It moves closer.
Then will move back and say, "Hello, I don't speak gnomish," and he then will say that hopefully loud enough for Rilinid to hear.
Make a perception check, you guys over there who's unscrewing things.
Then is basically shouting at this point.
Help! Yeah, Rilinid certainly picks up that he can hear Zyn shouting that he does not speak gnomish.
It's like, oh god. There's some sort of like drow curse.
He sees the thing.
Like, sort of like staggered, and then like sort of like trying to fumble with things like in gnomish. Hello. There's accented, well, actually emotionless gnomish.
The creature swings around and looks at him. It's it says to him, "Please state the nature of your business here."
We are passengers from the Underblad, meeting with our scheduled meeting with this vessel here. The Himmelsbad.
Scheduled meeting, Unterblad. He seems to, consider something. You are late.
Delays from the jungle, including drow, precluded us from meeting sooner.
The creature sort of scans up and down at Rilinid. Very late. 500 years late. Calculating, sort of moves a step closer. You should not be alive if you were en route to meet us.
Rilinid says, "No, but many things here within the Azavir should not be."
The creature seems to consider. Then what is the password?
At this point, Zyn would signal to Rilinid in the sign language whether or not he should shoot this thing, because that's clearly what he wants to do.
Well, see, that's up to Zyn. Jonas, anything that could be considered. And any sort of like script, like whenever I was reviewing the maps that actually led us here to this location, was there like, and this is the password?
No, sadly, I did not see anything like that. Perhaps it was something so ubiquitous that all the gnomes knew it. Perhaps the crew of the Underblood were on a special mission and they had a call sign or something like that.
Rilinid quickly signals back and draws sign language, shoot it.
Then we'll shoot it.
Alright, we go to initiative.
It's like, okay, peace over.
I tried.
You tried. You definitely tried.
You
We
fucker
will
with,
beat it.
you fucker with your 16.05.
Alright, Zyn, you're up.
Then we'll shoot it. Full attack, that, and let's go. One hit for 7.
Has a lot of AC.
It does.
It does. It has armor plating.
It's made out of
it's
fucking
orange.
metal.
Yep.
That might be true, but you know.
This gnome is so metal, man.
Yes.
But it's metal that can
yes.
dodge.
Let me take a look here.
So could I sunder the entire thing?
I'm pretty sure constructs, you know, they kind of have a thing about, you know, not being able to sunder them entirely as a thing. That's why they have hit points, you know.
Yeah, not much damage is done when the arrow sort of hits the thing. It just almost scrapes off, like a few, gears or something comes loose. But yeah, that he seemed rather resistant to that.
Well, as a player, I figured as much, but now Zyn knows that maybe his blunt arrows might again find a use.
You should wait until I act, DDS.
You have an idea?
Yeah, I have an idea.
Very well, following Rilinid's idea, I'll delay until after him.
Alright, we shall move them then.
Okay.
Rilinid.
As my standard action, Rilinid will reach out, put his hand upon Rae'nkalar's shoulder, quickly acting, and cast Vanish upon his brother. However, that does not provide a link to it. Let's see if Vanish is actually in the Paizo PRD. It is, cool.
I found Vanish.
It's a Vanish functions like the spell Invisibility, except the
Up to
effect
5
only
rounds.
lasts for 1 round per caster level, so it lasts for 3 rounds.
Okay.
And it'll end as soon as the subject attacks any creature.
Alright.
That lasts like invisibility, so all of the advantages of invisibility. And as a move action, Rilinid's going to backpedal a bit to get out of the way. You know, because Rae'nkalar's gonna need to get through that fucking small door if he wants to go through.
Indeed.
And that, while he's doing so as a move action, as part of the move action, he'll pull out his crossbow. He didn't have
Okay.
that out. That's the end of his turn.
Rae'nkalar.
Will I take penalties for fighting in here?
You are squeezed in that corridor, yes.
-4 to melee attacks and -4 AC.
Could always hope it comes out to you, but since Zyn shot it, it might turn the other direction.
I have a feeling it might, yes.
I mean, I could throw a javelin at it.
You could. It would turn visible.
It would probably not do much, since you probably saw that his arrows didn't do much either.
The point is trying to attract his attention, maybe.
Confused its circuits.
How are you going to attract his attention? You're invisible.
Oh yeah, that is a big problem. I really don't want to be squeezing, but don't think I have a choice.
He does go after Zyn, then eventually you'll be able to get out of squeezing.
That is true.
If it goes after me, it's going to smack into you, and you're going to get an attack of opportunity while it's flat-footed. And you have a +2 on top of that.
Yeah, I would just move up to it and see what happens.
I guess.
See, you used 5 movement already, and I think moving into a squeeze square costs double movement, so 15, 25, there you go.
Alright.
And of course, drawing weapons and shield.